Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my player ratings from Manchester United's 0-0 draw against Newcastle at Old Trafford. So I'll start off with the man between the sticks, David De Gea. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. De Gea had nothing to do in the game. Obviously, 2 shots came at his goal. Joe Linton hit the woodwork twice. Moving on to Diego Dalot, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. He defended well, but he lacked that attacking intent. Dalot, will be fatigue because he's played in every game this season, and to his credibility, he's had a lot of impressive games. Dalot is Manchester United's first choice right back. So reflecting on that, there's no way back for Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka wasn't available anyway because he's still out with injury. Raphael Varan, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he put a decent performance out. Varane has just come back from injury not so long ago. Lisandro Martinez, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. I thought defensively did well, and he brought the ball out from the back well at times. Wasn't the best of performances by Martinez. I've seen him have far better games as a United player, but he's done well in a lot of games, and most of the time Martinez and Varane play very well together in our back line. Prior to the Newcastle game, Martinez had obviously been starting alongside Victor Lindelof. Martinez doesn't play as good alongside Lindelof as he does alongside Varane. Moving on to Luke Shaw, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Pretty decent performance by Luke Shaw. Not as good as performance as he showed against Everton at Goodison Park. But pretty decent performance. Luke Shaw had a knock earlier on this season. He's not appeared to be our first choice left back under Ten Hag. Terrell Malacia has appeared to be our first choice left back. Moving on to Casimira, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he held his line well. Defensively was good. He looked good on the ball at times. And don't forget, Casemiro put that cross in for that Rashford chance in stoppage time. So Casemiro could have provided an assist. Fred, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. Pretty average performance by him. I do recall Fred having a chance in the game that he actually should have converted. Moving on to Bruno Fernandez, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Okay, but not the best of performances by him. Fernandez did receive a yellow card in the game. Moving on to Jadon Sancho, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. To his credibility, I thought Jadon Sancho was quite impressive. Don't forget, Sancho got brought down in the 6-yard box, and there was talk saying that Man United could have had a penalty. Moving on to Anthony. I'll give him a 5 out of 10. I thought it was another poor performance by Anthony. You know, Anthony weren't that good against the Morning Casimira at Old Trafford. I do recall him having a chance in that game. So he hasn't been at his best in the last couple of games as Anthony. Anthony, though, scored in the 2-1 win against Everton. So that was his third goal for Man United. He scored a stunning goal in the defeat to City. And he scored on his debut in the 3-1 win against Arsenal. Man United got Anthony for €100 million. Cristiano Ronaldo, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Ronaldo could have won a penalty in the game. He had a controversial goal ruled out. That was another talking point in the game. Ronaldo obviously scored his 700th club goal last week in the 2-1 win against Everton at Goodison Park. By the way, yesterday Ronaldo did receive a yellow card in the game. Obviously, we had to start Ronaldo up top yesterday because obviously Martial's not available. He's out with injury. The only substitute Man United brought on against Newcastle was Marcus Rashford. And I'll give Rashford a 6.5. Rashford had that injury time header that went wide. Should have scored it. Rashford had big chances against the Morning Casimira at Old Trafford. Should have converted at least one of them chances. Revert back to the game against Everton at Goodison Park. Rashford scored, but the goal got disallowed for handball. Not so long ago, Marcus Rashford got named Premier League Player of the Month for September. So anyway, that's your player ratings for Manchester United's 0-0 draw with Newcastle. I was disappointed with the result because I was expecting Manchester United to beat Newcastle. But I did say prior to the game that it was going to be a tough game because Newcastle are in form at the moment. Obviously, after the game, Erik ten Hag called players to kill opponents after Newcastle draw. And don't forget, Ronaldo was fuming with ten Hag after being substituted against Newcastle. But ten Hag, said quite a few things in recent weeks. Of course, Man United were missing players against Newcastle, but not that many. Was missing Bissaka, Martial, Harry Maguire, Donny van der Beek. Brandon Williams, but he doesn't get in the team. Obviously, Scott McTominay was missing because he was suspended. Don't forget, Scott McTominay saved Man United from humiliation against the Morning Casimira at Old Trafford because McTominay scored in the 93rd minute of stoppage time in that game. So there were the players Man United had missing. Newcastle themselves, though, had players missing. Obviously, they had no Alexander Isak, and he's a key player for Newcastle. Newcastle got him from Real Sociedad. No. What? Yeah. Alexander Isak was missing yesterday for Newcastle. Yeah, like I said, Newcastle got him from Real Sociedad. They were missing Emil Kraft. They were missing Matt Ritchie and Carl Darlow. But I think Newcastle will be much happier with the draw than Man United. You know, Newcastle have extended their unbeaten run. Manchester United won this fixture against Newcastle at Old Trafford last season 4-1. The last time Newcastle won at Old Trafford in the league was back in 2013, was it? That's almost 10 years ago. But Newcastle, you know, now are the richest club in the world after that takeover by the Saudi Arabians. Obviously, before the Saudi Arabians, Mike Ashley was the Newcastle owner, and he totally destroyed Newcastle United. He really did. And he got heavily criticised by a lot of Newcastle fans. He was Newcastle owner for around 13 years. And I've got to give credit to Eddie Howe because I do really think he's turned Newcastle around. Eddie Howe, don't forget, committed his future to Newcastle because he signed a long-term contract at Newcastle. Eddie Howe has been the Newcastle manager for almost a year. He got appointed in November last year. And Eddie Howe's made quite a few signings as the Newcastle manager. Before Newcastle, Eddie Howe managed Bournemouth. He was a long-serving manager at Bournemouth. He endured 2 spells with them, and at one point he endured a spell with Burnley. Before Eddie Howe, Newcastle had Steve Bruce. Newcastle were inconsistent under him, so they sacked him. Newcastle, I thought, were very consistent when they had Rafa Benitez, and as you all know, Rafa Benitez ended up resigning. A lot of Newcastle fans were disappointed when that happened. But the reason Rafa Benitez resigned is because he didn't get backed enough by the Newcastle board. And before Newcastle had Alan Pardew, but obviously Newcastle ended up sacking him. Newcastle have lost players, like I've said to you. They lost Federico Fernandez, they loaned Matty Longstaff out to Colchester. They let Isaac Hayden go. They let Kieran Clark go. Don't forget the loan Martin Dubravka out to Man United. As you all know, Man United have got the option to buy Martin Dubravka at the end of the loan for around 5 million. Dubravka has not yet made an appearance for Man United. He's just a backup to number 1 David De Gea. So there are quite a few players that Newcastle have let go. But anyway, Manchester United have got 2 hard games coming up. You know, we do play Tottenham on Wednesday at Old Trafford. And obviously the weekend we've got Chelsea away. So like I said, they are 2 difficult games, and Man United could drop points in at least one of those games. Tottenham, they're doing really well this season so far. You know, Tottenham are 3rd in the league. They've only lost 1 game so far, and that was to their rivals Arsenal. They lost 3-1. Tottenham won their last game against Everton 2-0. Tottenham have got a good manager in Antonio Conte. Antonio Conte has been the Tottenham manager for almost a year. He got appointed in November last year. He's in the final year of his contract, is Antonio Conte, but there has been talks of Conte extending his contract with Tottenham. Conte is well proven in the Premier League, as you all know, because at one point he managed Chelsea and he won the Premier League with Chelsea in his first season. But Chelsea still ended up sacking him. And before Tottenham, he managed Inter Milan and he won quite a few trophies with them. And there's other clubs he's managed as well. Don't forget Manchester United tried to get Antonio Conte. Before Antonio Conte, Tottenham had Jose Mourinho. He enjoyed a good start to his managerial career at Tottenham, and then all of a sudden it all went downhill, so Tottenham ended up sacking him. Similar sort of situation to what happened with Mourinho at Man United. You know, he had one good season because he won 3 trophies, but then it all went wrong in his second season. And before Mourinho, Tottenham had Pochettino. I've got to say, Tottenham were very consistent under Pochettino. Even though Pochettino didn't win anything, I still think he's a good manager. Pochettino enjoyed a 5.5-year managerial tenure with Tottenham. And analysing the vast majority of his managerial tenure at Tottenham, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top 4. Back in 2018, Pochettino got Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final. Don't forget, for such a long time, Man United tried to get Pochettino to obviously replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like I've said to you, the players Tottenham they've got the likes of Davinson Sanchez, he's a defender. Christian Romero, he's very good, I rate him. Ben Davies, Eric Dyer, Clement Lenglet, Tottenham got him from Barcelona. Ryan Sessegnon, he came from Fulham. Matt Doherty, he's a former Wolves player. Emerson Royal, he's suspended for this game. He's a key player for Tottenham. Tottenham have got him. Kuleveski, he's on loan at Tottenham. He's made an impact since he became a Tottenham player, but he's out of injury at the moment. Heung-min Son, I highly rate him. To be honest with you, I do believe he's better than Harry Kane. Lucas Moura, he's also very good. Ivan Perisic, he's a former Inter Milan player. Revert back to a while ago, Manchester United tried to get Ivan Perisic. Bissouma, Tottenham signed him from Brighton. Oliver Skip, Japet Tanganga, he's out with injury at the moment as well. Richie Arledson, Tottenham signed him from Everton, he's injured at the moment. Harry Kane, one of the best players Tottenham have got. Harry Kane has remained loyal to Tottenham for a lot of years now. He's been there over 17 years, got to have been. He's under contract with Tottenham until 2024. Kane's won the Golden Boot a few times. Don't forget, Man United have been tentatively linked with Kane. You know, we've been looking at him as a possible replacement for Ronaldo if Ronaldo leaves in January. So, yeah, and the goalkeepers Tottenham have got, they've obviously got Hugo Lloris, Brandon Austin and Fraser Forster. So they're a lot of the players that Tottenham have got. Don't forget, Tottenham lost Dele Alli and he was a key player for Tottenham. I don't know where Dele Alli is now, but last season he was out on loan with Everton. They lost Eric Lamela, was it 1 or 2 seasons ago? They lost Christian Eriksen, and Eriksen was a long-serving player at Tottenham. Obviously, Eriksen is now at Man United. Do you think he'll be playing in this game? If he does, he'll be reuniting with his former club, Tottenham. Don't forget, Tottenham lost Toby Alderweireld. They loaned quite a few players out, didn't they? They loaned Tanguy Ndombele out, Sergio Reguilon, Harry Winks, and they also loaned Giovanni Lo Celso out. So there you go. As you all know, Man United have done transfer business with Tottenham before, because a long time ago we got Dimitar Berbatov off them and Michael Carrick. Last season, Manchester United won this fixture against Tottenham at Old Trafford 3-2. If you do remember rightly, Ronaldo scored a hat-trick and Man United won away at Tottenham 3-0 last season. But I'm really looking forward to the game. On another video, I'll be giving you my predicted 11. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.